Hello. Hello, Malikarjun.
Okay, sir.
Hello,
Okay, sir.
it's okay?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay, then I will start. So, good morning to everyone. So, myself is Dr. M. Jaypal Reddy from Palamur University. Today's presentation is on nanocomposite ion conductive polymeric materials. And first, I want to say that I'm very sorry for that because it's the problem with my laptop, or maybe the possibility of internet not having the proper connection. I'm very sorry for that. So today's presentation, overall presentation outline is in three parts. First, I'll give you about the introduction about the nanomaterials. So what is the difference between the bulk and nano size materials? Then second part is, first I'll give the total idea about the polymer electrolyte materials. Then why I incorporated nanomaterials into the polymer electrolyte materials, where we call that as a nanocomposite and conductive polymer electrolyte materials. So that means today's presentation is in three parts. First, I'll give briefly on nanomaterials. Then second part is polymer electrolyte materials. Third part is nanocomposite and conductive polymer electrolyte materials. Okay, first I'll present about the nanomaterials. So in the present world, what we are using, everything is in a smaller and smaller size. So because the size effect is very important. So when you compare with the bulk and a smaller size, so why the size effect is there? So what is the problem? Why? So which we call that as a nano. So if you take generally, if you three-dimensional, that means in the x and y and z direction. That means if you take any material length, breadth, and width, so length, that means three sizes are there, right? So in any size, that means if you take x, y, and z direction, so that material is less than 100 nanometers, we call that as a nanomaterial. So that means less than 100 nanometers. So about that we call also treat that as a bulk material only. So what is nanoscience? So nanoscience is the study of the behavior of objects at a very small scale, roughly less than 100 nanometers. 1 nanometer is nothing but what? 1 billionth of a meter. R is equivalent to length of a 10 hydrogen atoms. So what is nanotechnology? So technology means what? So complete design, characterization, production and application of structures, so device and system by controlling shape and size at nanometer scale. So we call that as a nanotechnology. So just now I explained about the which material called that as a nanomaterial. So that means where it's a length in the x and y z direction. That means length, breadth and height. We call the three dimensions are there. So based on this, so they classify the nanomaterials into different categories. That means the four categories. Okay. So that means 0-dimensional, 1-dimensional, 2-dimensional, and 3-dimensional nanomaterials. So that means the 0-dimensional means if you take in the 3 dimensions. So the 3 dimensions is less than 100 nanometers. That means in all these dimensions, it's a nano size. We call that as a 0-dimension. So if it is any direction, that means 1-dimensional. That means it's like you take the wire in 1 dimension, that all the 2 dimensions are in nanometer size, but in 1 dimension it is above that. We call that as a, that means it's not in the nanometer size in 1 direction. We call that as a 1-dimensional. So 2-dimensional, that means in any 2 directions. If you take the length, breadth, RB, height, etc., any 2 dimensions, it's having more than 100 nanometers. So that means only in the 1 dimension it is in nano size. So that we call that as a 2-dimensional nanometer. It's like a films. When we coat a thin film on that, let's example, if you take, when we go to the solar panels, etc., the thin layer will be there. So where that layer is thickness is in the nano size, that means the less than nano size, but its other 2 dimensions are in more than that. So that we call that a 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional. 3 dimensions, all the 3 dimensions, which is having a more than 100 nanometers. So that means based on this dimension, they classify as a 0-dimensional, 1-dimensional, 2-dimensional, and 3-dimensional nanomaterials. So what is the difference between the bulk and nano size? So why? So that's very important because we always speaking about the nano. So that means it's having the great impact even the society, because if you take anything, so coming to smaller into smaller sizes. So that's important, very important for enterprise association, because if you see so far the technology developed very much. Even earlier you take your mobiles where it's having this bigger size, it's maybe the weight may be even more than 750 grams, nearly it's a bigger one. So, but that coming size is very less, even we are getting or cooking in our pockets. Earlier, it's difficult to put in our pocket. So, because of what? Because of what this size is reduced. Because of what size is reduced? Because where we are using the device, within that, mainly the battery. So earlier they used the battery bigger one, nickel, cadmium, etc. in our mobiles. So that is what is the bigger. So where you take that board, that may be the coated as thin layers in that, the motherboard, what we recall. But only in that total the mobile is that battery is in bigger size. Because of that only the mobiles are bigger. Now it's reduced because of the efficiency of that battery is high even in the thin form, smaller form. Okay. So you see why, what is the effect? So mainly the two factors are there. To take the nanomaterials and bulk materials, so mainly the two properties are different. First one you see in this figure where that it's having the all dimensions are 1 meter, its surface area is only 6 meters square if you calculate that, right? If you make that into 8 pieces, that make you cut that cube into 8 pieces, then its surface area is 12 meters square. Again, if you cut that into 27 pieces, then its surface area is how much? That's 18 meters square. That means what? We are breaking it into smaller sizes. That surface area is increasing. That means if you take the equal mass of the bulk material and in smaller size material, then the surface area is higher for what? Nanomaterial or with the smaller size materials. So that means you see here increase in ratio of the surface area to volume when the same amount of material when in nano size. That means when you are making the same amount, that means the same mass of that bulk material into smaller sizes, so the surface area is increasing. So what is the effect of the surface area? So that's what is the effect of the small size? Simply you see that whenever we are take the powder form of a sugar and in the crystal form, then you dissolve in your tea or coffee, whatever it may be. So which one dissolves faster? That's the powder form, because that size is smaller. So that means the reaction is very fast. So if it is a crystal form, that reaction is very slow. So that means chemical activity also increases. So even its strength also increases, its electrical properties also increases because of the smaller size. Okay. So second one, you see this graph where on x-axis it has given the size of the nanomaterial and the y-axis it has given the energy gap. You see that whenever the size is increasing, so that energy gap value is what's happening? You see here, energy gap value is 60. That means changing the energy gap. You see here. So this figure. So this is the bulk material where its conduction band is here, valence band. That means we call that as the energy gap. So you are breaking it to smaller pieces. Then what's happening? This gap is increasing. So again, the gap is increasing. You are breaking into smaller. That means band energy, band gap is increasing. That means when you are taking the bulk and nanomaterial, so there is a change in the energy gap also. Okay, you see here. That means in smaller nanocrystals, then electronic energy levels are not continuous. See here. So these are not continuous. Here it is continuous. That means it's discontinuous. Okay. So as the bulk but are discrete, so as in the bulk but are discrete, finite density of state because of the confinement of the electronic wave function or to the physical dimension of the particle. This phenomenon is called quantum confinement. That means where this is the band gap is changing, we call that as a quantum confinement effect. That we call it as a quantum effect. So because of these two properties, one is what? Surface area, increasing the surface area. Then it's changing in the energy level. That means band gap, energy gap, what we call that as a quantum effect. Because of these two properties, you see here, where this is the gold nanoparticle dispersed in your water. So which is showing the red in color. But if you take that to gold in the bulk form, that is yellowish in shining, is in yellowish in color. But here it is red in color. So because of what? Because of these two factors. One is it's changing in the energy gap, and also for its surface area, we're making it to smaller in sizes, right? Okay. So, but anyway, this is not a new technology, because we realized 3 decades back. So we are always talking and discussing and talking about the nanomaterials, which are giving the good, better properties when you compare with the bulk materials. But if you can see the 4th century BC, where this cup is there in the British Museum, so which is where that maker made this glass by dispersing the nanoparticles of gold and silver in that glass material. So when you see that, when it is ruby in red color, when transmitted light, that means when you put a light inside, that means transmitted, that's showing the red in color. But when it is reflected, when it is showing the green in color. So because of this effect is only due to the size of those particles dispersed in this glass. So that means it's not a new technology, but that means they used in the 4th century BC itself. But we realized when, where we are available to measure the size of the material, like scanning electron microscope is available, even transmission electron microscope is available, even you can find the XRD. By using the many techniques, we can find the size of it. Then by considering the size and studying the property, then we realize that these nanomaterials are having the better property if you compare with the bulk materials. So these nanomaterials showing the high, if you take the properties of optical, electrical or magnetic or mechanical, chemical, catalytic, whatever the properties you take when you compare the bulk material, so these are having the better and highly improved properties when you compare with the bulk material. That means this only due to the surface area and quantum confinement effect. That means what? Quantum means what? There is a change in the band gap. There is a change between energy level. That means what? Between the conduction band and valence band. Where the band gap is there, this gap is changing. When what? When you're reducing its size, what? Its value is increasing. Band gap value is increasing. Okay? Okay. So I'll give brief about the preparation methods also. So where the preparation method, number of methods are there. So where that is the physical methods are there, chemical methods are there. So that means they're classified into physical method, then into chemical methods, where we call that the physical method top-down method. That means top-down method means what? Simply you are taking the same material. If you want to take the silicon oxide as a nano, we will take that as a silicon oxide in the bulk form. Then we will crush it into, that means we are breaking smaller into smaller size by using some mechanical instrument or whatever. But coming to the second method, where they categorize the chemical method, we call that as a bottom-up approach. So that means what? Where that may be the molecule by molecule or the atom by atom combined. That means the chemical based on the chemical reaction. So this we call that as a chemical method. We call that as a bottom-up approach. That means we can make these materials the different way. They categorized into two parts. One is top-down approach. Another one is bottom approach. Bottom-up approach. Top-down approach means what? You take that material in the bulk form, then we'll make it into smaller sizes. Where bottom-up approach is where we start with the chemical reaction from atomic level or molecular level, then we'll make that into material into nano form. Okay. So then I'll give brief about the top-down approaches. So that means what? We are taking the bulk material, we are making it into smaller sizes. That means when you are crushing or milling or grinding, so then what happens? These are maybe not in a proper shape or proper size, because there's a different material, maybe different size. So if there is a possibility of disturbing the crystal structure also, that means they may not be in the perfect. So that means top-down approach may not give the proper size, or maybe we are disrupting, that means even the crystal structure also. That means damaging its crystallographic structure. Okay. So, but in the bottom-up approach, where we are making atom by atom or molecule by molecule, so that means this is purely based on the chemical reaction. So where we can maintain the different environments like a temperature, pressure, pH values. So we can make the material into whatever the desired size we require, whatever the desired shape even required, we can make by different condition, even the tube form, wire form, or spherical, different particles we can make, different sizes and different shapes also. So by using what? Bottom-up approach, that is the chemical method that we can, based on the chemical reaction methods, we can make that into even the size is uniform, shape and distribution, and also whatever the desired size this we require. By maintaining what? We can maintain the temperature, pressure, pH values, etc. Okay. So it's also having the number of techniques in the bottom-up approach, chemical method like Sol-Gel method is there, co-precipitation method is there, chemical arc method is there. Number of methods are there to make what? The nanoparticles. Okay. Okay. So to measure the nanoparticles, so there the X-ray method is there. That means simply record the X-ray diffraction pattern, then we can calculate the size of that by using the formula D is equal to K lambda by beta cos theta, where theta is the Bragg angle, beta is the full width of the half maxima. If you take any peak, then full width of half maxima will take. Then theta is the angle, that is the Bragg angle. This is the average grade set, this is the average grade set will get. Lambda is the wavelength which you use it to produce, which you use the X-rays, that the wavelength of that X-ray. K is the constant of that instrument. Then, okay, generally it's having the value 0.9. That means we can calculate the size of that nanoparticle by using the X-ray diffraction method. So second one is scanning electron microscopy is there. So by using, because nowadays we are having high resolution microscopes available out there. So where by using scanning electron microscopy, so we can measure the size of that what we get in the 3 dimension. So you see here, the where that virus is there, COVID virus, we call it coronavirus, you see that we getting this 3-dimensional picture. Even the bacteria is there, this also is getting 3-dimensional picture. So even transmission electron microscopy is also there, but this will get only 2-dimensional pictures. So that means where we realized when all these are instruments available for us. So the properties where that bulk and difference between the bulk and smaller size, we realized when these instruments are available for us. Okay. Whatever I have given that about the nanomaterials. Okay. So in the nanomaterials, main properties are changed when you compare with the bulk and nano. The properties are only mainly 2 properties. One is increasing the surface area. Another one is what? Quantum confinement effect. Because of these 2 properties only, the properties are better and better when you compare with the bulk materials. Okay. So that's about the brief about the nanomaterials. Okay. Then next second part is that I'll give the clear picture about the polymer electrolyte materials. So what is polymer electrolyte material? That first we should know that. Then now we'll go for nanocomposite polymer materials. Okay. So here first I'll give you about the introduction about the fast ion conducting materials. So that means whatever the solid material which is having high conductivity, then we call that as a solid electrolytes, or you can call that the fast ion conductors or super ion conductors. So based on the microstructure, they are classified into different groups. These are the glasses like sodium borate, lithium borate, etc. So these are the glasses which are having high conductivity. Composites, maybe they're taking the 2 different materials and making it in composites which are having the higher conductivity, and crystalline, polycrystalline materials. So like that is categorized into 4 types. One is glasses, composites, crystalline, polycrystalline materials, and polymer electrolyte materials. So today we will discuss about the polymer electrolyte materials. So why polymer electrolytes? What are the advantages of this? So mainly advantage of this is what? Easy to fabricate into film form of desirable size. That means we can make the size, that means the thin film of its whatever the sizes we require. And also these are having the mechanically stable and also high ion transport. That means which we required for the electrolyte material, high ionic conductivity. Then only that device having the longer life. So that means these materials having the high ion transport, that is high ionic conductivity. And also fourth one is what? Ability to form proper electrolyte contact. If you take the device like the battery, where at the center the separator is there. The separator we call that as the electrolyte material. At the ends of that separator having the 2 materials, we call that as the electrodes. One is anode, another one is cathode. So that means this polymer electrolyte materials having the proper contact with the electrode materials. So that is the advantage. So it's having the application of these electrochemical batteries, electrochemical sensors, capacitors, fuel cells, memory devices, etc. Okay. So what is ion conducting polymer? So far I have given about the advantages and applications of polymer electrolyte materials. So but what is polymer electrolyte material? Okay. So polymer electrolyte material is nothing but what is the combination of the polymer and ionic salt. That means if you are taking the two components, that means we are combining together by using the different techniques. That we call that as a polymer electrolyte, which is having the higher conductivity. Here, a simple example I have given. So mostly studied, widely studied polymer is the polyethylene oxide, which is have high applications. That structure is CH2CH2O, where in this oxygen is there, which is having the lone pair of electrons, which can coordinate with the, when you dissolve the salt like lithium chlorate or lithium iodide, etc. So where that lithium can coordinate it, interconnect with the oxygen. You see here, where this is the polymer chain is there, if the oxygen is there, lithium is coordinating with oxygen. Lithium is coordinating with oxygen. Sorry, please mute your. Hello, please mute. So lithium is coordinating with oxygen here. Okay. So then this is the polymer, this is the lithium LiClO salt. So that means this combination of these two, we call that as a polymer electrolyte. So that means simply we are taking the polymer. What we are doing in our lab, we are making these materials in the film form. We are dissolving simply the polymer in certain solvents, then again salt in certain solvent, then both we are mixing and we are stirring for few hours. Then we are simply pouring on the dishes. Then finally we will get within 3 or 4 days by evaporation, we will get a thin film. So what we can study on this, we can study the different properties on this thin film. That means where which is showing the higher conductivity, where we call that as a polymer electrolyte material. Okay. Okay. So this how to make this. You see here, polymer we are taking and salt we are taking, dissolving in certain solvent. These also dissolve the solvent. Then we are mixing. Then we are grinding for few hours, which we get the homogeneous solution. Then pouring on dishes, simply drying. Then finally we will get the freestanding polymer salt electrolyte membrane like a film. So like this. So that means this is the method to prepare the films of polymer electrolytes. So simple thing. It is very simple. You can take the polymer, any polymer. If you take the polyethylene oxide or PVDF, HFP, so etc. Then simply you take this any salt like lithium, etc. Because whatever the application we need, so whatever the desired material we require, so then we add the salt and the polymer. Then we will get that film, right? That means you take the salt, polymer, dissolve in the solvent, then we'll mix both the solution, then stir for few hours, then pour on the dishes, then evaporate it. Finally, you will get the film, that is the freestanding film. So like this. So we will study about the what is the polymer. Okay. Simply I am giving the picture of the polyethylene oxide. You see here, it is a semi-crystalline one. Where we call that this as a spherulites, right? Where it's having the see here, which is having the perfect arrangement of chains are there. Okay. So folded chains in crystalline lamella. That means these are nothing but what? This is the sporulate structure. Where in between this we can see this. This is the amorphous nature. That means we call this as a semi-crystalline material. So this we can see in the clearly the XRD pattern. Okay. When we are adding the salt to this polymer, so you see here, this is the pure polymer. When we added some salt to this is the 5% salt, here is the 10% salt, here is the 18% salt. So all these are optical micrographs. Whatever I given, this is the optical micrograph. So we added the salt to this. So then what happens? You see, spherular structure is totally disturbed. That's becoming in smaller and smaller sizes. We added more salt, that's totally disturbed. Here you see that. That means disturb the total spherular structure, that is total crystalline structure. That means what? It's the total structure is disrupting, then that is changing from crystalline to amorphous nature, because amorphous nature is required to get the high ion transport. That means to mobile ions we require amorphous phase. Okay, so that means when we added salt to this, then what happened? The total structure is disrupting. Crystalline structure is disturbed. Then we are getting the amorphous phase. So which is we required for movement of the ions. Okay. So this is also pure PEO filling. So this we studied temperature. You see here, this is at the room temperature. Simply we increase the temperature, then what happens? You see, at the higher temperature, we will not see the any spiral structure. So that means what? Total this spiral structure is disturbed when we increase the temperature. That means we change the temperature for the polymer as also. The change is structure. Your higher temperature, then what happens? The total that crystalline structure is disturbed. You see here, where this one is. Earlier one is for pure PUO. This one is for PUO with salt of 10%. The same thing we observed with the temperature, room temperature 60 degrees, 64 degrees. You see here, it is at 70 degrees, it is total disturbed, but here it is the 64 degrees only disturbed. So that means when we added salt, that the temperature which is decreasing, that means the melting temperature decreases. Okay, that I'll explain in the DSC course. Okay, you see here. So what we observed in the optical micrographs, we can see clearly in this X-ray pattern also. You see here, this figure A, which is having the peaks. So which showing what? It's the crystalline nature of the pure polymer. So when we added salt, like 5%, 10%, 11%, etc. You see here, the peaks intensity is decreasing, simply it's widening its peaks. So finally you see that at higher concentration, the peaks are totally diminished. So that means what? The total semi-crystalline nature is changing into amorphous phase. That means the salt itself, the structure of those. Please mute. So here I am giving the DSC patterns, the differential scanning calorimetry. That means we measure the heat flow by increasing the temperature 40, 50, 60, etc. You see here is for the pure PEO, where it's having the peak here, it's showing the melting temperature. So where is the with the smaller amount of the salt, so this peak is diminished. I mean, this area is also decreasing. So based on this area, so when we compare with these areas, we can calculate the crystalline nature also. So we are assuming that this area is 100% crystalline, but it's not perfect crystalline, but we are assuming it. So it's 100% crystalline. Then by calculating these areas with the ratio with this, then we can calculate the crystalline nature. You see here, crystallinity on this axis, then melting temperature on this. Melting temperature means this, you see here, melting temperature. So this is the melting temperature. When we increasing the salt, the melting temperature is decreasing. So even the crystalline nature also decreasing. That's what crystalline nature is decreasing means what? Amorphous nature is increasing. So which is we required for what? Ion transporter. That means ion movement within that material. Okay, that means we are adding salt, what happens? It's decreasing. Then the ions will move easily through that amorphous material, right? Amorphous nature. హలో
సార్ చెప్పండి.
ఒక్క నిమిషం మళ్ళీ ఏదో ప్రాబ్లం వచ్చింది.
ఏం లేదు సార్, క్లియర్గా ఉంది.
నా పీపీటీ మూవ్ అవ్వట్లేదు. జస్ట్ వెయిట్. ఓకే. సారీ, ప్లీజ్ వెయిట్. హలో
సార్
వినిపిస్తుందా?
సార్ వినపడుతుంది, క్లియర్ ఉంది సార్.
ఓకే. ఓకే నిమిషం పీపీటీ మూవ్ అవ్వట్లేదు. పీపీటీ మూవ్ అవ్వట్లేదు.
ఒక్క నిమిషం, అది పీపీటీ క్లోజ్ చేసి ఓపెన్ చేస్తాం.
ఒక్క నిమిషం మూవ్ చూద్దాం. పీపీటీ మూవ్ అవ్వట్లేదు. ఇప్పుడు వచ్చింది. ఓకే
ఓకే సార్.
ఓకే సారీ. Okay. So now I have given the clear picture about the DSC, XRD, optical micrographs. So where we added the salt to the polymer, how content we are increasing to the polymer, then how the crystal nature is changing. We already explained about that, right? That means what? Whenever we are increasing the salt, then what's happened? The crystal nature is decreasing, right? So then you see here is the property of the conductivity. So on the x-axis is the content of the salt to the polymer, and the y-axis is given the conductivity of that. You see here, whenever we are increasing the salt to this, the conductivity is increasing. So because where that's amorphous nature is available within that material, which is to move that ions easily through that amorphous nature. So that means the conductivity is increasing, which we require for what? Our application. So that means ion movement is through what? Amorphous nature of that material. You see here, this is the conductivity versus temperature. You see here, this A. You see here, with the increasing the temperature, the conductivity is also increasing. Right? So far I have given about the when we are added some potassium iodide salt to that polymer. So in this what I given the XRD, optical micrographs, DSC, then conductivity. So where we are using the XRD patterns, optical micrographs, and also XRD pattern and DSC to study what? How the structure is changing within that material when we added some salt to the polymer. So here what happens? When we take the polymer, polyethylene oxide, which is having the semi-crystalline nature, when we added the salt to the polymer, so where that salt, where that cation is there like potassium, where that cation coordinates with the oxygen of that PEO, because its oxygen is having the lone pair of electrons which can connect with any cation. So that means that potassium is coordinating with the oxygen of that polymer. So where this disturbs the total chain structure of that polymer, which is disrupting the structure, which is increasing the amorphous nature. Okay. So that means what? Increasing the salt, that amorphous nature is increasing. So then that is having the impact on what? Ion transport. That means what? We are increasing the salt content, means that disrupting the crystal nature, the conductivity is increasing. See here, because this is the salt content, the conductivity is increasing. So this is about the X-ray patterns of what? Where we added the divalent salt, that means MgCl4t. You see here the peaks which are having the polyethylene oxide, where this peak is related to this peak is related to which is having high intensity. You see here, when we added the salt to this, so these are the shifted towards the lower angle, and also its area is, that means the peak intensity is decreasing. You see here, this peak also is moving towards the lower angle, Prague angle, that the peak intensity is also decreasing. So that means what? When we added the salt to the polyethylene oxide, where this is a polyethylene oxide there, which is disrupting the crystalline nature of that material. You see, similarly, what I explained in the potassium salt, here is also you see the DSC. So diffraction scan calorimetry, where which is showing the peak. This is for the pure PEO. This what's happened. This is totally decreasing. That means area is decreasing. So you see for higher content, You will not see any area here, peak here. So that means its melting temperature is also decreasing, and also that what amorphous nature is also increasing. So based on this area, we can calculate what crystalline nature of that. You see here, this is the cooling. That means when you heat that material, when you cool it, how that crystallization takes place. You see here. So that means we heat that polymer, then you cool it, slowly cool down. Then what happens? Again it crystallizes. But this is the B one. This is what we added a smaller amount of salt. Then what happens? This is shifting towards the lower temperature. So like that we added higher amount of that. You will not see any crystalline peaks here, crystallization peak here. That means it's totally disrupt the crystal structure of that polymer. See here. So what we calculated from the above this graph and this graph. So here presented here in this graph. Here the melting temperature of this. So this what happens? It's decreasing. This is the crystalline nature of this. This is the crystallization. Here you are given temperature, and the crystallization temperature and crystallinity of this. Okay. So that means what? This decrease, crystallization temperature is decreasing, and also crystallinity percentage is also decreasing. And also melting temperature is also decreasing by adding the salt to the polymer. Okay. This is about the scanning electron microscope photographs. So this is for the pure PEO. We added salt to this. This is the lower content, this is the higher content one. You see here, which is showing the rough surface. Rough for this is very rough. That means what is roughness gives what? The crystal nature of that. So when we added salt, but then what it's smoothening. That means this crystal nature is changing into amorphous nature. That is smoothening. You see here, you can find the smoother and further smooth. That means what? That crystal nature is changing into amorphous nature. You see here, conductivity for above the sample materials. You see here, the content of 5%, etc. You see here, conductivity is increasing, but at higher content, again, the conductivity is decreasing. Okay, that I will explain later. So that means we are increasing the salt to that, it is disrupting the crystal nature, then the conductivity is increasing, but higher content, again the conductivity is decreasing. So that I'll give the clear picture of this in the next slides. Okay, this is the temperature versus conductivity. You see increasing the temperature, then conductivity is also increasing. Okay, here it is give the structural, how the structure is changing within the polymer. This is about the IR spectra. So this for pure polymer, so which is representing say stretching here, where the important one is COC stretching, and when here it is there. So that means you see here, by adding the salt, this total, this band is there, this band shape and position is changing. So that means what? Where we adding the salt to this, that means we add the magnesium, then what happens? That is coordinating with the oxygen. So because of that, it is disrupting the total structure of that. Total structure of the polymer material. That means where this magnesium is coordinating with what? Oxygen of the lone PEO. Okay, you see here. Here has given the 1000 to 1200. That means this one, this band position. You see here how the band position is changing by increasing the salt. So because of what? Where this magnesium is coordinating with the oxygen. That means when you add the salt to this, so that means this magnesium cation which is coordinating with the oxygen of that polymer. So because of that, the total internal structure is changing. You see here. Okay. So just now I explained here the conductivity is decreasing with increasing the salt content. Why that is changing? You see here. So it is the pattern between 650 to 600. This is also higher pattern infrared spectrum. This region where it is there, when we add it to salt, you see here, the new one is, you can see the new band position here. So this is due to ClO4 anions. Okay, so that means this is 650 to 600. You see here, for the lower content, by increasing the salt content, higher content, you can see the hump here is a new hump is coming here. It is also, you can see the new hump. This area is also increasing. So that means where here it shows the free ClO4 ions, but when coming to here, which is showing what? Where again that ClO4 is coordinating with the cation. Again, that means when we increasing the salt to that, again the salt is aggregating. That means again the separation is taking place. That means the polymer can accommodate up to certain level of the salt. If you increase the further, then what happens? Then ion pair is forming. It means ion, both cation and there is possibility of forming ion association. That means cation and anions are coming together. This separation is taking place. That means because of that only the conductivity is decreasing. Okay, you see here. So by calculating these areas, we calculate the population of that ClO4 free ions and also coordinating with the lithium. You see here. By increasing the magnesium salt, you see here, this is the magnesium salt, the conductivity is decreasing. The higher concentration salt because what? Ion pair formation is forming. The ion pair formation is higher. That means that salt aggregation is taking place here. So because of that, the conductivity is decreasing. But even the crystallinity is decreasing. Okay. So here is the you see here, 3 ClO4 ions are increasing here. Okay. So because of that, because of this forming of the ion pair formation, the conductivity of that material is decreasing. Okay. So this is the drawback of the polymerical materials. Okay. I'll explain about the later about the. You see here, this for another polymer which we studied about the PVDF. We added the lithium chloride. So this is the exotic pattern of that. In this case also, it is increasing the amorphous nature. Okay. Here is also SCM photographs, how that is changing. This is the showing the some sort of semi-crystal nature, but increasing that is the smoothening. That means the changing in the structure of that polymer. So you see here, again the conductivity is increasing when we increase the salt to the even the PDF HFP polymer also. That means you see the how that is coordinated. You see here, magnesium is coordinated with the fluorine of that PVDF, because in the PVDF which is having the fluorine atom, so which is having the lone pair of electrons, so that can coordinate with the cation. So that means there is a possibility of coordinating with the fluorine of this magnesium, where you can see the ClO4 is free within this structure itself. Okay. So what is the drawback? The main drawback here in the pure polymer electrolytes is if you increase the salt content to the polymer, the conductivity is decreasing. That means what? Where ion pairing interaction is taking place. That means there that ions are coming closer. If you increase the salt, so then ion aggregation is taking place. So because of that, the conductivity is decreasing. So to overcome this, we have to use some techniques. Okay, you see here, ion pairs on this, and also free ClO4 ions here. You see here, ion pairs are increasing with increasing the salt content. So because of this increasing the ion pairs, the conductivity is decreasing. Okay, you see here, free ClO4. That means your free ClO4 ions also decreasing. That means what? Ion pair formation is taking, ion pair interaction is taking place. The aggregation is of the salt. So because of that, the transport properties are decreasing. Okay. To overcome this, having the different methods. So copolymerization method, that means we can add low molecular weight polymer which is having the lower TG. This is the one method. Plasticization like propylene carbonate, ethylene carbonate, etc. We add is the another method. The third method is there addition of additives or nano-inorganic oxide to this, where we call that as a nano-composite materials. That means this host polymer electrolyte are added with some inorganic oxide, ceramic like SiO2, RtIO2, etc. R3O4, etc. We are adding nanoparticle to this. Okay. So see here, why nano in ion conductive polymer? So mainly to overcome this, so we are using the different methods. One is copolymerization, plasticization, addition of additives like nano-inorganic acid, etc. Okay. So see here, where this the ion pairing is decreased with the increasing the, okay, this graph is there, right? So this gives the free ClO4 ions where LiClO4 ion pairs are here. So where you see here in this graph, we added to the PeO Li ClO4 polymer electrolyte, some amount of the Fe3O4 nanoparticle. You see here, this ion pairs. This is the free ions. So if we increase the Fe3O4, the free ions are increased. See here, this is reducing. That means this disrupting what? Where that aggregation is taking place. That means free ions are available, increasing the free ions, which are very much required for that. Because if you take the lithium, the lithium mobiles, that means lithium transport is higher, then only our battery efficiency will be more. So because we need more and more cations to move, more ions to move within that separator, within that solid electrolyte material. So that means when you add it to nanoparticle oxide material to this, so that means that free ions are available, more free ions are available when we increasing the salt content, right? You see here. So crystallization also, even the crystal nature also decreasing when we add in the Fe3O4 content. Here is the enhancement of conductivity. The conductivity is increasing. Okay, you see here how the coordination will take place. So when we are adding salt, so this is about the blue one, which is the ion, which we showing for what? Cations. This is the nanoparticle. So where these cations also coordinate with the nanoparticle, because here is also Fe3O4, oxygen is there. Where is having the cation which is having the positive charge, here is having the negative charge. So this will coordinate with this. Again, this also cation is also coordinating with the polymer, these are ClO4 free ions. So that means when we are incorporating nanoparticle into these polymer electrolytes, which is disrupting the structure of this polymer electrolyte, and also increasing the free ions, which is increasing the conductivity of that material. You see here, this is the structure of similar one. This is the mesoporous silica, which is having the nano channels is having, where that's also that means this nano mesoporous SiO2 MCM41, which is having the 10 to 50 nanometers of pore size. It is also, you see the structure how the changing. That means Cl4 ions that lithium is coordinating within this channel, and also these are the polymers. These are the lines which are showing these are the polymers. Okay. Okay. So that means to overcome the drawback where that ion aggregation is forming. So to overcome that, we are adding what? Nanomaterials to solid polymer electrolyte materials to increasing what? Ion transport property. That means to increase the conductivity of that material. So because of that only we are adding these nanomaterials to this, because it's nanomaterials having the advantages, which is having the high surface area and also changing the quantum confinement effect. But in this case, where this having the smaller into smaller sizes, so we can disperse these nanomaterials in these films comfortably. Because the size is smaller, which is a bulk, then what happens is difficult to disperse in there, because the films are very thin, even less than 100 micrometer in size, that film. Okay, so that will require smaller into smaller sizes. So to increase the conductivity, to increase the transfer property, we are incorporated nano materials in this polymer electrolyte materials. We call that as a nano composite and conducting polymer electrolyte materials. Okay, how to synthesize this? You see here the same technique what we are using to polymer electrolyte materials, but we are adding another component in this material. You see here polymer dissolving in the solvent, salt dissolving in the solvent, and nanoparticle material which are dissolving the solvent. Then we are mixing these both the solutions and stirring for few hours. Then simply are pouring into dishes. Then simply are drying it. Finally, after drying, we will get the freestanding film. That we call that as a nanocomposite polymeric material. Nanocomposite polymeric electrolyte material. It's a very simple technique. We can do in any lab. You see here, simple. You take any polymer, dissolve it in the solvent, and also dissolve the salt and nanomaterial in the any solvent. Then you add these two solutions, stir for a few hours, then pour on for dishes, then simply you dry it, then finally you get the thin film form. Okay. So that means very simple technique. Okay. So we studied the characterize how we characterize. We are using the characterize by X-ray, DSC, IR, etc. We used to characterize this better because we have to study the what we prepared. So how the properties are changing. Okay, you see here. This is pure PEO. We added the salt to this. Then we added some nanoparticle to this Fe3O4. Then what happens? You see here. This is also decreasing. That means it is also disrupting the structure of that polymer. You see here. So the cation diffraction thing you see here is the PEO LiClO4. We added Fe3O4 to that. Hello? X-ray diffraction కనిపించట్లే నీకు మరి అదే hello, okay, you see here, so above figure is what? Okay, so
Okay, sir.
here the figure A is for the pure PEO, here the B for the PEO lithium salt, where we added Fe3O4 in this. So the C, D and E are Fe3O4, that means non-composite materials. That means for the same amount of PEO LiClO4, we added different percentages of nanoparticles. So you see here, this peak is shifted and also it decreasing into the intensity. That means what? Even not only the salt, even the whatever we added the nanoparticle to this polymetric material, that is also disrupting the crystal nature of the polymer. That is very important here. So the important property is what? That disrupting the crystal nature, which is increasing the amorphous nature, which is very much required for what? Transport property. Okay. So you see here, the characteristic diffraction peaks are apparent between 18 to 30 degrees. That means between here, these two. So it indicates the semi-crystal nature of that polymer, right? The short diffraction peak found in pure PEO becomes less prominent in complex PEO films, whereas the intensity of these peaks is decreasing and broadening, which indicate the complex formation of between the PEO and the LiClO4. So that is related to the figure B. So further, the sharp diffraction peaks of PEO becomes much broader and their intensity decreases with increasing of Fe3O4 composition to PEO LiClO4 when compared with that of the PEO LiClO4 and pure PEO polymer. This suggesting that decreasing in the degree of crystallinity and increasing the amorphous structure in nanocomposites of PEO LiClO4 with increasing concentration of Fe3O4. You see here. This is for pure PEO, this is for PEO LiClO4. This C, D and E are the increasing the concentration of Fe3O4 in this PEO LiClO4 polymer material. So that means what? Its intensity is decreasing and also little bit broadening. So what's happening? That means even not only the salt which disturbs the polymer, even the nanoparticle is also disturbing the structure of that polymer. That means what? Its crystal nature is decreasing to amorphous nature. Okay, that also you get the clear picture from the DSC plots. Okay, you see here. It's for another one where we use the silica material, the nanoform. You see here, intensity for pure PEO, PEO, then we are adding that water intensity is decreasing. So that means what? The amorphous nature is increasing. So this for another one, MCM41, same thing with the lower angle, which is showing that the same one, exactly for the lower angle, less than 10, drag angle less than 10, here, less than 10, we have recorded, we are showing that, because here you see that silica oxide, because this is the structure of the MCM41, excited pattern of MCM41, even that MCM41, which is here the silica dioxide, SiO2, that structure is also, crystalline structure also disrupting when we add the salt and polymer to that. Okay, so that means in this case, silica oxide structure is also disrupting and also polymer structure also disrupting. So overall, they disrupting the total structure of that material. Okay, this is here, SEM. This for pure PEO, this for PEO LiClO4, this for the nanoparticle which added to this polymer electrolyte. That means PEO LiClO4. You see increasing the salt Fe3O content to this. Okay, you see here. Here the Fe3O, whatever we can see, this is the Fe3O4 nanoparticle dispersion in this film. But you see that higher content to that, you see that aggregation of again Fe3O4 nanoparticle is changing. Okay. So when you increase up to certain content of Fe3O4, this is the mechanical strength is high, but when you go increase the further higher composition, higher concentration of Fe3O4, again it's the damage is the film of that. So that means whatever it may be, it accommodates up to particular composition only. Up to particular composition. Even when what we studied polymer electrolyte materials, when we added that, so up to particular composition, that's accommodating the salt perfectly, and it also increasing the transfer property. But further increasing the salt also, what's happening? Their ion aggregation is taking place, and also sometimes its mechanical properties also decreases, and also conductivity. Main thing is conductivity property is decreasing. That is the main disadvantage. We need more what? Ion transfer property will be higher for any application. Okay. So in this case also what's happening? For the higher content of that nanoparticle, so their aggregation of that Fe3O4 nanoparticle is taking place. Okay. Then we will see that for other transformation. You see here, copper oxide nanoparticle, where we doped in the PuO LiClO4. This for the pure PuO. PuO LiClO4, we added 10% and 15%. So up to 10% is perfect. The dispersion is perfect. Okay, but you see here, again the copper oxide is aggregation is taking place. Okay, so that means, which is the semi-crystalline nature of the pure PuO, when we add it to the salt, which is showing the smooth, that means it's increasing the amorphous nature of that, then disperse the nanoparticle in this. Then for the higher concentration, the possibility of again aggregation of what? In this case, nanoparticle aggregation is taking place. Okay, so how that effect is on the transfer property, that also we'll study here, because we are increasing the nanoparticle to the polymer electrolyte. It is also increases the transfer property, and also for higher concentration is also it damages the transfer property, because that can accommodate up to a particular level only. It's very simple. Whenever we make it in our home or maybe anywhere, the curry, we can put up to certain salt, then only that will be tasty or delicious. But if it is increasing the higher content than what happens, it's a poisonous to us, and also it's not so tasty. The same way, that means that is accommodating up to certain composition. In this case also accommodates a particular certain composition also. So then only we'll get the better property. Okay, you see here for the another material where we doped another nanomaterial in this PuO LiClO4. This also another nanomaterial. Okay. So that means what? Whenever we increasing even the higher content of nanoparticle, there is also changing in the internal structure of that polymer electrolyte. First of all, it decreasing the crystal nature, decreasing the amorphous nature, decreasing the crystal nature and increasing the amorphous nature, and also higher content, there is the aggregation of again nanoparticles are taking place. Okay. Okay. How that affects on crystal structure, that also we'll study. You see this. This is the DSC pattern of Fe3O4 doped in PuO LiClO4 polymer electrolyte. You see here, 4%, 8%. You see here, pure PuO, which is showing the some peak. The PuO Fe3O4. Here also PuO LiClO4 and adding that then this area is decreasing. Right. So that means crystal nature is also decreasing. You see here, crystallinity on the y-axis, Fe3O4 content on x-axis. You see here. Please mute. Hello, please mute.
Sir, 1 minute, sir. 1 minute, sir. Sir, okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So you see here, we are increasing the nanoparticle to this. What's happening in this graph? You see, it's increasing its what? Crystal nature. Okay. That means it's disrupting the structure of that material also, because which is very important for what? Ion transport mechanism, which is for what? To get the higher and higher ionic transport property. That means higher ionic conductivity nature required for that. Okay. This is the crystallization. That means when we are heating and cooling that. Hello?
PPT, okay. Right.
So this crystallization, that means decreasing the temperature. We are heating that material to higher temperature and slowly cooling. how that crystallization taking place. You see here. So crystallization temperature is decreasing. Okay, by increasing what? Even nanoparticle to that polymer electrolyte also. The same result we can find as we added to the salt to that polymer. Okay, we see here. Okay, this is a different way, different property. That means we had heated that material and cooled, and then again we studied the DSC property and that, how that changed, we studied that, okay? So, and it's same thing, what we studied for this is also same thing for the same material. Okay, you see here, DSC plots of copper oxide doped nanoparticles, that means nanocomposite. You see here, this is for the pure PuO, lithium, and which is increasing the copper oxide. The melting temperature is decreased and also crystallinity also decreased, because when you increase the copper oxide content to PuO LiCl4 polymer electrolyte, the crystallinity is decreasing and also melting temperature is also decreased. Okay. This is a description about these graphs. That means how that is changing, how, because based on this area only we calculate what? The crystallinity nature. So where we showing the temperature here on the x-axis, so that gives the melting temperature. Okay. So this study is the what? About the thermal stability of the material. You see here, when we dope Fe3O4 particle to PuO-LiCl4, the thermal stability also increased. You see here, PuO-LiCl4, this thermal stability is at only even up to 325 degrees. But when we dope the Fe3O4 nanoparticle to that, the thermal stability is above 400. That means when we added the nanoparticle to that, the thermal stability is increasing. Okay. Okay. So DSC pattern for another systems to MCM42 Cyber2 system. So how that values are changing, it's decreasing when we add nanoparticle to that, right? How the coordination is taking place, how the structure is taking place here. Important. So by XRD and also SEM, the DSC we calculated, we explaining about the cell in nature, that how the crystallinity is decreased by increasing the Fe3O4 content or maybe the salt content to that. But this FTIR, that means infrared spectroscopy patterns, which gives the how that internal structure is changed. That means how the coordination is taking place. That means whatever that, which are the vibrational band positions are affecting within that, affecting the polymer. These two are lithium salt and also Fe3O4. You see here, we see about what? CH stretching between 3000, that means around 2900. That means when you add that to Fe3O4 particle, you see here, this is modifying. That means what? They're disrupting it the nature, because of what? Some internal coordination is taking place. Internal coordination, that means they are making it a comfortable position to adjust themselves. So the band is changing. PuO-LiCl Fe 15%. This for Fe3O4, PM, then 5% and 15%. You see here. This for pure PuO. This is COC. That means where we can see the COC stretching and vibrational band position. Where is PuO? We dope the Fe3O4 only to the pure PuO. You see here, it is also modifying its structure. That means something is linking. That means something is coordinating with the nanoparticle. That means even that also coordinating. That chains also coordinating with the nanoparticles of pure PuO. When this for pure PuO lithium, this means where that lithium can coordinate easily with the oxygen of that polymer. So that it's modified. This you see here. From this you see here, two shoulder peaks are there. These shoulder peaks are completely changed. You see here, when the nanoparticle added to this shoulder peaks further changing. Hello?
So slide change on this.
Change in the higher spectra.
అంతే సార్ ఇంకా పీక్స్
Higher
కనపడలేదు.
spectra.
పీక్స్ రాలేదు ఇంకా, ఆ స్లైడ్ రాలేదు.
ఏముంది
ఐఆర్ స్పెక్ట్రల్ డేటా ఉంది, హెడ్డింగ్ ఉందండి.
Sir, IR spectrum is not visible.
Yes.
Then maybe the internet may be slow. It's visible now. Air spectra.
Now, IR spectra data is the slide. The slide is only there, sir.
Not a
అయ్యో నా దగ్గర మూవ్ అవుతుంది.
It may take some time, sir. Wait for 1 hour, 30 minutes,
What
30
now?
seconds. Not now, sir. Just wait for 30 seconds. I think so.
Sir, we are not able to see the screen share.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, 1 minute. So maybe the net problem is there. Okay, just for few minutes, few seconds, not minutes. The slide changed.
Yes. No, not now.
Slide change అయిందా?
No, sir. Not at till.
Okay. Maybe the problem with my laptop. Still it's reading. We'll see. చేంజ్ అవగా నాకు చెప్పండి.
ఓకే సార్. సార్ రీషేర్ చేస్తారా?
చేంజా?
రీషేర్ చేస్తారా? మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి క్లోజ్ చేసి షేర్ అన్షేర్ చేసి షేర్ చేస్తారా?
మళ్ళీ టైం పడుతుంది. చూస్తుందా?
రాలేదు సార్ ఇంకా.
ఒక్క నిమిషం. 1 minute. ఇప్పుడు కనిపిస్తుంది ఏమన్నా?
ఐఆర్ స్పెక్ట్రల్ డేటా దగ్గర ఆగింది సార్. సార్
హలో
సార్ ఇంకా రాలేదు సార్. అదే స్లైడ్ ఉంది.
ఏం కనిపిస్తుంది?
ఐఆర్ స్పెక్ట్రల్ డేటా
Change
స్లైడ్
మళ్ళీ చేస్తలేము.
ఇక్కడ హ్యాంగ్ అయినట్టుంది సార్.
ఓకే, అదే
అన్షేర్ చేసి షేర్ చేస్తే అది రావచ్చు. ఓకే, నేను షేర్ చేసి అన్షేర్ చేస్తాను. మరి క్లియర్ అవుతుంది స్క్రీన్. అప్పుడు మీరు ట్రై చేస్తారా?
ఒక్క నిమిషం. ఇప్పుడు స్క్రీన్ కనిపిస్తుందా?
పాత స్క్రీనే కనబడుతుంది సార్. ఒక్కసారి
ఇంకా పోలే అది?
అన్షేర్ చేసి అది క్లీన్ చేసావా? తీసేసావా? క్లోజ్ చేసిన సార్.
నెట్వర్క్ క్వాలిటీ
సార్ ఒక్క నిమిషం. నేను ఒకసారి షేర్.
నెట్వర్క్ ప్రాబ్లమ్. ఒక నిమిషం.
స్టార్ట్ చేసేసి. ఓకే. ఇంతసేపు వచ్చింది సార్. ఇప్పుడే 1 or 2 minutes అవుతుంది మీరు ఆగి.
అదే ఒక్క నిమిషం. మళ్ళీ పోయింది.
మీరు అన్షేర్ చేసి షేర్ చేయండి సార్ ప్లీజ్. వన్స్ అన్షేర్ అండ్ షేర్ ఇట్ సార్.
అదే స్టాప్ షేరింగ్ అని మళ్ళీ చేస్తున్నాను.
ఓకే సార్. ఇప్పుడు షేర్ చేయండి.
ఓకే, నా స్క్రీన్ కనిపించిందా?
ఇప్పుడు వస్తుంది సార్. ఇప్పుడు చేయండి, మళ్ళీ షేర్ చేసి కనబడుతుంది.
ఏం ఇంటర్నెట్ దట్ జూమ్ బాగుంటుంది, ఇంత ప్రాబ్లం రాదు.
అది లిమిటెడ్ సార్, అది
Zoom
100
లో
మెంబర్స్ కాదు.
లేక
ఇది ఒకటే
కొనుక్కో 1000 దాకా వస్తుంది. లే నేను అట్లాంటి ఇంకోరిని అడుగుతుంటే ఆల్రెడీ ఉండే అని దగ్గర. సర్లే అగైన్ బ్యాడ్ నెట్వర్క్ క్వాలిటీ అని వస్తుంది, చూద్దాం.
సార్
చేంజ్ అవుతున్నాయా?
మీ షేర్ లో ఉంది సార్, ఇప్పుడు షేర్ చేస్తే అవుతుంది.
హలో
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 చెప్పండి సార్.
హలో
మల్లికార్జున చేంజ్ స్లైడ్
స్లైడింగ్ వచ్చింది సార్, వచ్చింది సార్.
హలో
వచ్చింది సార్, స్లైడ్ వచ్చింది సార్. స్లైడ్ వచ్చింది. ఎస్కేప్ టు క్యాన్సిల్ ఓపెనింగ్ ద డాక్యుమెంట్.
హలో
సార్ చెప్పండి సార్. చంద్రశేఖర్ సార్, శంకర్రావు సార్.
హలో
టెల్ మీ సార్, వాట్ యు వాంట్, టెల్ మీ.
schedule section over sir this time.
2
How
hours, maybe
much?
2 hours. Almost 1.5 hours is over. Till half an hour is there.
Half an hour. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
మల్లికార్జున్
సార్ వచ్చింది సార్, మీ స్లైడ్ వచ్చింది. అది క్యాన్సిల్ వచ్చింది. అది ప్రెస్ ఎస్కేప్ టు క్యాన్సిల్ ఓపెనింగ్ డాక్యుమెంట్ అని వచ్చింది సార్.
ఓపెనింగ్ డాక్యుమెంట్ అని వచ్చిందా?
అంటే మీది స్టార్టింగ్ విండో వచ్చింది సార్. ఓకే సార్, వచ్చింది సార్, వచ్చింది సార్.
పీపీటీ కనిపిస్తుందా?
కనబడుతుంది సార్, కనబడుతుంది సార్.
కనిపిస్తుందా?
కండక్టింగ్ ఆఫ్ మెగ్నీషియం కంటెంట్ టు PEO.
పీపీటీ ఏది కనిపిస్తుంది నీకు?
కండక్టివిటీ ఆఫ్ మెగ్నీషియం కంటెంట్ టు PEO.
ప్రాబ్లం ఉంది. ఏ రీతినా మళ్ళీపోయింది. మల్లికార్జున్
షేర్ చేయండి సార్.
షేర్ చేసిన నీకు స్క్రీన్ కనిపిస్తుందా?
నాకేం రాదు.
లేదు, నేను ఇంటర్నెట్ చేంజ్ చేస్తున్నాను, నెట్వర్క్ చేంజ్ చేస్తున్నాను.
ఓకే,
నెట్ ప్రాబ్లం.
సార్
ఇప్పుడు అనిపిస్తుందా?
ఇంకా రాలేదు సార్, వస్తుంది.
కనిపిస్తుందా?
మీ వీడియో ఒకటే కనపడుతుంది. మీ వీడియో ఒకటే కనపడుతుంది.
క్లోజ్ చేసి మళ్ళీ స్క్రీన్ మళ్ళీ షేర్. Sure. ఇది మొత్తం క్లోజ్ చేసేది. మల్లికార్జున్
సార్ ఓకే వస్తుంది సార్.
ఓపెన్ చేయండి వస్తుంది.
డెస్క్టాప్ ఓపెన్ అయింది.
అదే వచ్చేస్తుంది. ఓపెన్ అయిందా?
ఓపెన్ అవుతుంది సార్. నో ఇట్ ఈస్ గెటింగ్ ఓపెన్.
ఎండింగ్ కూర్చో.
ఓకే సార్ మీ పేరు నానో కాంపోజిట్ ఓపెన్ అయింది.
ఓకే స్లైడ్ చేంజ్.
స్టార్టింగ్ పేజ్ ఓపెన్ అయింది.
హైయర్ స్పెక్ట్రల్ డాటా అని వచ్చిందా?
రాలేదు సార్, వస్తుందేమో. వచ్చి సార్.
ఓకే ఓకే కంప్లీట్ చేద్దాం మీకు. So far we discussed about what is XRD, SCM, that means X-ray diffraction patterns, scanning electron microscopy photographs, and the differential scan calorimetry photographs we discussed. So in that data shows that whatever that nanoparticle we do the polymerical materials which is disturbed in the crystal nature of that electrolyte material, that is host material. That means what? It is increasing the amorphous nature of that. But from the IR data, we can study about the structural changes, how the structural changes are taking place in that polymerical material. You see here, so this is between 3200 to 2600 range we recorded, where it's showing this. You see here, this A1, which was the pure PGO. So this for the pure PGO with some FCT open and also LSL, then what? It's changing its shape and also it widening. That means what? Where within that chain, something is taking place. That means some structural changes are taking place. So we can see that clearly in the next graph, where that's 1500 to 9800. You see this between 1200 to 1000, which is very important band position, this polymer ethylene oxide. So that means where we call that as a C4C stretching or vibrational mode. That means where that lithium cation can coordinate with the oxygen of that polymer chain. So that means within that band position, there's so much changes are taking place. That means changing its shape and its weight, its size, etc. So because of what? Where that the cation is coordinating with the oxygen of that PUO. At the same time, we added that Fe3O4 nanoparticle to this. So here is also changing in the position of the CO stretching and vibration mode. So that means where the coordination between the lithium cation and Fe3O4 nanoparticle polymer ethylene oxide PUO is some sort of structural change is setting. That means some sort of coordination is taking place. Some sort of network is forming within that. So because of this network, what's happening? It's disrupting the structure of that polymer PUO. So that means changing structure means what? Automatically changes the crystal nature. So the automatically decreasing crystal nature means automatically that increases the amorphous phase of that. You see this. So this is about the description of that. You see here. The apparent the intensity of COC symmetric and asymmetric stretching mode observed around 1100 centimeters in PU is found to decrease and broadening in its weight by complexly lithium salt to PU. The apparent peaks on both sides of the COC. That means you see here these two peaks. We call this satellite peaks. So PU are found to be reduced in complex PU lithium. That means the network is forming between the polymer, nanoparticle, and also lithium ion. That means coordination is taking place between these three components. So because of that, what's happening is changing its crystalline structure. That means disrupting the structure of that. That means what? Where crystalline nature is decreases. So that we decrease the crystalline nature means automatically amorphous nature is increasing, which is important property for what? The ion transport. So even we studied between the 6, 10. So then when we increase this peak value is decreases. That means what? More number of lithium available, lithium cations. That means free ions are available. Where that aggregation is taking place when we added higher content of the salt, when we added the Fe3O4 nanoparticle to this, so even that disturbs the aggregation, formation of that's reducing the action for those salt, cation and anion. It's increasing the to move within that. So this is the explanation for this, the how that changing the CH stretching vibrational band here and also CO stretching band here, and also how the changing the ClO4 ion pair formation or ClO free ions. So that gives the spectrum, the CH stretching and also this for COC. So these are given clear explanation for that on this slide. You see here 0% of copper. It is clearly showing that it's ion pair formation is there. But when we added 5% copper oxide, you see it's not appearing here. It's total change. It's smooth. That's what it is in the ion formation. That means the higher skeletal content, but an aggregation is taking place. That means salt is aggregated. So, but when we particle to this, that's overcome. That's what? There's more number of cations will be available within the that material. Okay. So these are explanation for that, for the different oxide materials. You see this how that changing the COC, how that ion pair is changing in the content. That means here should put in the IR data. So where that structural changes are taking place. That means how the coordination is taking place between the lithium cation, nanoparticle and polymer. So mainly in the polymer, example, if you take the PGO, where that oxygen is there, within that oxygen, where that lone pair of electrons are there, so they coordinate with lithium. Again, that whether we are doping nanoparticles, again this lithium will coordinate with the nanoparticle. Because Fe3O4 is there, copper oxide is there. Because oxygen is there, means this is having some sort of negative charge. So lithium is having the positive charge. That means this will be coordinated. That means these three components, that means the polymer, lithium, and also nanoparticles are forming some sort of network, so which is disrupting the crystalline structure, where that increasing the amorphous nature to that material. Okay, so you see here how the conductivity is changing. You see here, this is the conductivity for PU lithium at zero content of the nanoparticle. When we increase it this, so the conductivity is increased. But again it is decreasing. Why it is decreasing? Because we already observed in that Stan-Gatter macroscopic photograph where that aggregation of that nanoparticle is taking place. Where that aggregation of nanoparticle is taking place. You see here, I'll show that SEM photographs clearly. See here, aggregation is taking place. So because of this only, the conductivity again and transport properties decrease. That means it can accommodate up to certain composition of that nanoparticle. So that means up to 10% of Fe3O content, the conductivity is increased. You see here. So again, it is up to E. The F1 is for higher content, conductivity is decreased. Okay.
Conductivity
Hello?
దగ్గర ఉంది సార్ సైడ్.
అదే
సైడ్ కండక్టివిటీ దగ్గర ఉంది.
మీ స్లైడ్ లేదా ఇప్పుడు కండక్టివిటీ స్లైడ్?
కండక్టివిటీ హెడ్డింగ్ మాత్రమే ఉంది సార్, ఇమేజెస్ రాలే.
ఈ స్లైడ్ ఉంది, కండక్టివిటీ స్లైడ్ అంతేనా?
అంతే సార్.
స్లైడ్ చేంజ్ చేయడం లేదా?
చేంజ్ అవ్వలేదు సార్, వెయిట్ అవుతుందేమో.
పూర్ ఇంటర్నెట్ కనెక్షన్ అని వస్తుంది ఇక్కడ. బట్ జూమ్లో ఈ ప్రాబ్లం రాలే నేను సార్ చేసినప్పుడు. స్టిల్ సేమ్ స్లైడా? ఇట్ చేంజ్ అవి సరే కంప్లీట్ చేస్తలేదు. వచ్చిందా?
గ్రాఫ్ పెట్టండి.
గ్రాఫ్ వచ్చిందా?
రాలేదు సార్ ఇంకా. ఒకసారి షేర్ చేసాను.
మళ్ళీ
షేర్ చేయండి. ఓకే సార్, వచ్చింది సార్. వచ్చింది సార్.
మళ్ళీ క్లోజ్ చేసినాక వచ్చిందండి. ఓకే, ఒక్క నిమిషం.
ఓకే సార్, వస్తుంది సార్. మారుతుంది సార్, స్లైడ్ మారుతుంది.
నా దగ్గర లేదు, స్లైడ్ పోయింది నా దగ్గర.
ఇప్పుడు వస్తున్నాయి సార్.
ఒక్క నిమిషం. నా దగ్గర పోయింది స్లైడ్. ఏం కనిపిస్తుంది? వస్తుందా ఏమైనా?
ఇంకా రాలేదు సార్.
ఏం కనిపిస్తుంది నీకు?
ఇప్పుడు డెస్క్టాప్ వచ్చింది సార్. డెస్క్టాప్ కనపడింది.
డెస్క్టాప్ వచ్చిందా?
స్లైడ్ ఓపెన్ అవుతుంది సార్.
ఇప్పుడు ఏ స్లైడ్ కనిపిస్తుంది?
స్లైడ్ ఓపెన్ అవుతుంది సార్, ఇంకా కాలేదు. ఓకే, కండక్టివిటీ వచ్చింది సార్.
ఓకే, slide change అయిందా?
ఇప్పుడు కండక్టివిటీ స్లైడ్ ఓపెన్ అయింది ఇప్పుడు.
So graph is there in that slide.
Wait sir, it is coming. Wait sir. Okay sir, graph is there sir.
Okay. You see this graph where on that x-axis Fe3O4 nanoparticle is there, on y-axis conductivity is there. So when we increase the Fe3O4 nanoparticle to this PeO lithium polymer electrolyte, so the conductivity is increased up to certain level. So up to 10% of Fe3O4. So further increase the Fe3O4 nanoparticle, the conductivity is decreased. So why the conductivity is increased here? Because whenever we are doping, that means adding higher content of that, so again there is aggregation of nanoparticle is taking. So where it's available of lone pair of electrons is there, but even though the aggregation is taking place, so that is restricting to move the ion. Okay, that means what? It can accommodate up to particular composition. So behind that, what happens? Even that mechanical property also decreases. Even the ion transport properties also decrease. So that means if you take any composition anywhere, what's happening here? It can accommodate up to particular composition only. So in this case also same thing happening. So even whatever the content of nanoparticles we are adding, so that is accommodating up to particular composition only. So it depends upon the nanoparticle, whatever the nanoparticle we are taking. So in this case Fe3O4, the higher conductivity is observed when the 10% of Fe3O4 nanoparticle. Okay. So this is about the temperature versus conductive plots of nanocomposites of Fe3O4 nanoparticle. So different compositions, right? Okay. This is for copper oxide. You see here. In this case also, that accommodate up to 10% of that. The conductivity is higher. So further it is decreasing. So that means same thing happening in this case also. For the further increase of copper oxide, the aggregation is taking place. So that means what? Even that mechanical property also of that film also decreases. That means it's also accommodate up to particular composition. So behind that, the transport property is decreasing. The same thing is for temperature versus conductivity. So this for another nanoparticle MCM41 that is related to the silicon oxide. How the conductivity decreasing, you see increased, sometimes decreasing. So for that, in that case, this is also explained by considering the crystalline nature and how the conductivity increasing with the temperature also shown from here. So here also showing that you see here, this for the PO, this is increased for higher content of 8% of MCM41. That means you see here, in the above cases that accommodate up to 10% only, but in this case it accommodate only 8%. Behind that again, the conductivity is started decreasing. Because aggregation that is taking place here. So that conductivity is decreasing. You see here, the same thing happens. So conductivity, that means you can accommodating up to 10%. In this case, it's accommodating up to 10%. So further, it is decreasing. In this case, also heating and cooling material added in this. You see here, clearly showing that aggregation. Here is the smoothness. That means some of its nature is there. So for conductivity increase, but here is also having some sort of amorphous nature, but the aggregation of oxide material is taking. So that its conductivity is decreased. Okay. So based on the characterization, that means how structural changes are taking place, how the nature is taking place, how the transport property. So because the higher transport property is required for any application, the higher transport that is very required for to increase the efficiency of that to battery or any device. Okay. So based on that, we get some. I'm showing the one result of that. So battery, how the battery works. That is the solid power we use. You see here. So this is the two electrodes, cathode and anode. Between the system. This we call that a solid electrolyte. In this place, there's so many whatever the batteries available. That means whatever the batteries are using in our. So most of those batteries are based on polymer batteries only. So because we can make this as a thin film form and are very good compatibility between the two electrodes. So where here showing that these are the movement of the ions. That means these are moving when you're charging, that moves the other side. When you're discharging, that moves another side. Okay. So in this polymer will be used as a separator between these two electrodes, one anode and cathode. Okay. So you see here how that lithium is moving. You see here how the lithium is moving towards this side when we are using that. When you're charging it, that moves in other side. Okay. So that means whatever I explained about these materials, so these will be used as a separator in the devices, they're like a battery. Okay. You see here, when we fabricated the battery by using some magnesium material, which is showing, which is a pure polymer electrolyte. This is stable up to 175 hours. But when we added that nanoparticle to this, you see here, that is even above 200 hours also it's stable. That means its efficiency increased. That means when we added to nanoparticle to the polymer electrolyte materials, that efficiency of that battery increased. That means the performance is increasing. Performance is increasing. Okay. So finally, I can give the conclusion to this. So that means whatever the nanoparticles here, the size effect is very important for the improving the property. So that means when you compare with the bulk and nano, the properties are, total properties are, all properties are changing. Chemical properties changing, optical properties changing, magnetic behavior properties are changing, mechanical, kinetic, all the properties are better if you compare with the bulk materials. Okay. Coming to nano composite materials, you see here. So it is easy to prepare the polymer electrolyte materials by using the solution casting method. Okay, some of the conclusion from the nanocom, you see here, addition of inorganic nanoparticles improved the mechanical strength and conductivity and improved the salt dissociation. Interactions are between the three moieties of nano oxide, PGO and LiSiO4. That means cross-linking, that means networking is forming between the three components. One is what? Polymer, lithium salt which we are taking, or maybe sodium salt, whatever the salt we are taking, and also nanoparticles which we are using. So within these three components, network is forming. That means some links are forming. Then with this, which is modifying its structure, which is very important for what purpose? The change increasing the amorphous nature, which are very important for what purpose? The purpose for increasing the conductivity. The two types of rich environments are noticed in nanocomposite conductivity, means where that ion is moving through the even nanoparticle and also through the polymer. The two environments we can observe in this case. Okay. The conduction process in composite polymer electrolyte is noticed in two parts. Okay. One is through the PEO, another one through the surface of the oxide material. Okay. Thank you. Hello.
Sir.
Malik. Okay. Malik,
sir.
Any questions?
Please raise the hands if you want to ask questions, sir. I will unmute the mic.
Classroom hands raise cheyadiki.
And ikkada undi sir, option undi. Raise hand your hand.
Unda atla kuda unda. Okay, I don't know that. Okay.
I can observe that one in that lobby.
Hello.
Okay. Sir, tell me, sir. Someone is speaking. Chandrasekhar. Tengarao. Sir.
Hello.
Please.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Sir, in batteries, what is the difference between the electrolyte and the separator?
Electrolyte and separator is the same. What that only separator? You see here, you see here. This is the separator. These are two electrodes. The separator is electrode.
Sir, it is not visible, sir. Yeah, now it is okay.
This center one is there, right? This is the separator. The separator material is nothing but this electrical material. But the polymer material, material, any material. But in this case, that is the polymer electrolyte material.
Hello.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay,
Sir, I have a question.
okay, Amma.
Hello?
Okay, Amma. Come on.
Sir, like for energy applications, like now you mentioned that polymeric electrolytes are really good to increase the conductivity. So like as I'm taking my
Yes, ma'am.
main material is a composite of polymer and some metal oxide. So still it like because electrolyte also will have the polymeric material, and my main source like anode or cathode material, any one material I'm going to take as a nano composite. For example, say some MMO3 plus polyaniline I'm taking this example. So composite I'm taking, and I'm
Okay.
taking as a polymeric electrolyte like you mentioned, right? So like there
Right.
won't be two polymers. So how we can we take like that? Is that possible actually?
If you take like that, the compatibility is very good. You try it.
Okay.
So that
Okay.
even better if you take the oxide material as a two electrodes and the electrolyte as a polymer. If you take the other case also polymer, the compatibility may be very good. Even compare with that.
Okay. So other than energy application, can we use for nano sensor applications like biosensing and any like?
Yes, ma. You can. That depends upon the dopant you use.
Okay. Sir, is there any
You can
particular
use for
like the percentage this much percentage should be there, like 40%, 30% or any percentage, or like any much percentage we can take in electrolyte?
Yes, ma'am. So whatever that we are using the salt, so that salt can account up to particular composition only. We may not say
Okay.
that it's 120% for this salt, for all the salts, same salt, because we are using different salts. So that different salt may accommodate different compositions. Okay, if you take the one salt, that can accommodate 20% with higher conductivity. If you take other salt, at 15% only you may get higher conductivity.
Okay.
So that depends upon the whatever the source salt we take.
Okay. So polymers have degradation, right? It's like after certain period they will degrade normally. So how about this polymeric material, like electrolyte material, sir? So
No,
for
man.
example,
Any material is having its lifetime only. Okay. But at the same time, this polymeric material is having the higher, because now you check the batteries. These batteries are, that means what are the mobiles we have. In that mobiles also lithium polymer batteries are there, because on that only the size is reduced.
Okay.
Otherwise, that our mobile size will be bigger.
Okay. I got it, sir. Thank you. I got it, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your answer. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, sir.
What is examples for nanomaterials? In which field have you used it in like army sector or
Yes.
optical?
Anywhere.
Which any
Yes,
field,
yes, yes.
medical,
You can any
medical
material.
field or
Yes, that's why you call it the medical for your nano drug delivery. Even anywhere now you're using nanotechnology.
nanotechnology.
Yeah, because its properties are better.
Maximum using nanotechnology we have used for so many fields. What is the purpose of use in sectors?
Yes, its property is better now if you compare the bulk material. You see, size is reduced. Instead of using the 10 grams, just within 1 gram. For that 1 gram only, you are getting the better efficiency than the 10 gram bulk material. So you are reducing that amount, but efficiency is increasing. The properties are improving. So you can use anywhere this nanomaterials.
Yes.
Okay, good morning,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you, sir.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
Dr. Saidulu from JBIT, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I have a doubt. So, what is the difference between this low angle XRD and wide angle XRD, sir?
Low angle XRD means whatever we are recording from that our X-ray instruments we have. If difficult to record with these, for that we require another instrument. That is too expensive. I think we're not having that instruments even in our laboratories now.
Okay. Sir,
Good morning,
type
sir.
of
I have a
material?
question. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, sir. I have a question. How can we
Yes, ma'am.
calculate linear and non-linear properties of nanomaterials?
Linear property means what property? What linear property? You get
Like
optical
optical
properties.
properties, yes, linear and non-linear properties.
But anyway, I have not done that work. So how
Okay.
can I give the answer for that?
So have you found out about the optical properties? Can you elaborate the optical properties of nanomaterials?
Yes, ma'am. By optical property, we can study how that band gap, band value, the band gap is energy gaps are changing, like direct band gap, indirect band gap, by using UV instrument. But I don't know how to find the linear values and nonlinear values of these nano. But you can study about that direct and indirect band gap by using UV method. UV rays, that is the absorption method is there, the techniques are there, instrument is there, you can measure.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Hello, sir. Sir, namaste, sir. I am
Yes,
Seshu from Andhra Pradesh.
Welcome.
Sir, I want you to please explain the mechanism of these nanofillers to increase the conductivity of these polymer electrolytes.
So that I explained where if you are taking that PUO, lithium salt, and nanoparticle, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what I explained when we add, hello, it's audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello?
Please, sir, it is audible.
When we add salt to that, then what's happening? That lithium is coordinating with the example for PU, oxygen of the polymer, right? Because which is running the lone layer of element. The coordination is taking place there, right? Okay. Now added another component to that, right? Like HCl, copper oxide of silicon,
Hello?
TiO of 2, etc., right?
Yes.
Then what happens? Where the TiO2 or SiO2, where that oxygen is there, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
these also, where that particle is there, the lithium also coordinates with this.
Okay, okay.
So that means interlinking is forming. Physical cross-linking is taking place between these three components.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes,
coming
yes.
to the conduct, that means where is the cross-linking is taking place, it is disturbed is the structure, right?
Yes, sir.
Disturbed is structure, total structure.
Yes, sir.
Then transport property. Coming to the transport property, when we used PU lithium, only the one pathway is there. That means ion can move only through the polymer chain movement, etc. But in this case, we find the two environment. So that means lithium or the sodium ion water ion that may be having through the surface of that nanoparticle and also lithium chain. These two environments we can observe. So because of that, it's increasing the conductivity. And not only that, where the nanoparticles we are doping, even that the more lithium cations are available. Because where the higher content of the salt, that lithium and again that anion cation is coming together, forming the aggregation. So that aggregation is disrupted due to the doping of this third component, nanoparticle. So that means total change in internal structure and also increasing its transport property. Because transport property is important for what purpose? For any application. Right? It's okay. Got your answer?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
With regard to the bottom up
Hello?
approach and top down method, sir.
Okay.
Sir, electrode deposition, hydrothermal,
yes, it is there.
and self-combustion methods.
Yes.
So these are some of the methods available for the synthesis of nanoparticles.
Yes.
Whether these are grouped under bottom-up approach or top-down.
Bottom-up approach.
Self-combustion.
It's a chemical reaction. Chemical reaction is taking place, right? You want to take...
In the electrode deposition, we are passing electricity.
Yes. In that, what happens if you take any source, like if you want to make the metal nanoparticle, right? Then what you will take? You will take some source, like which is having the metal of that. When you take the electrolysis method, what happens? Only that metal will, then something of the reaction is taking place. So that metal only deposited on the cathode. So we are collecting that metal from the cathode. That means this is nothing but what? Bottom-up method. Hello?
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 Hello, sir?
Hello? Come on.
Hello?
Hello? Welcome.
Sir?
Okay.
We are using an autoclave. In the heat treatment method,
Hello?
we are using
Not
an
audible?
autoclave. Whether it is chemical or physical method, sir.
సార్ మీరు అన్మ్యూట్ చేయండి సార్, మీ మ్యూట్ అయింది.
Sir, hydrothermal method, we are using an autoclave for the synthesis of nanoparticles. Whether this is grouped under bottom up or top down.
సార్ జైపాల్ సార్, సార్ మీది మ్యూట్ అయింది సార్. సార్ సార్ Sir, please wait. I'm connecting to Jaipal, sir. Please wait, sir.
Okay.
Sir, मेरी mute अయింది sir. కనిపించిందా సార్?
Sir?
అయిపోయింది సార్.
Hello? Sir, in hydrothermal method of synthesis of nanoparticles, we are using an autoclave. So whether this can be grouped under bottom up approach or top down. Similarly, for a self combustion method also, I want to know whether it is coming under bottom up or top down. Sir, I'm not able to hear me, sir.
Sir, my voice రావట్లేదు సార్.
Hello? Yes, sir. Audio is not.
సార్ ఒక్క నిమిషం సార్, నేను నా దగ్గర ఉన్న చూస్తాను. మీరు ఇయర్ ఫోన్స్ తీయండి సార్ ఒకసారి, నార్మల్గా ట్రై చేయండి సార్. ఇంతకుముందుకు వచ్చిపోయింది దానికి. ఇప్పుడు చూడండి సార్. లేదు సార్.
ఇప్పుడు వస్తుంది.